if I know there is revenue being generated because someone's listening to it. Back in the day, as you said, there was maybe no radio. Like my family's lived in Africa for a long time, so in Africa, you have radios. Radio is more predominant than, say, television. So a lot of stuff goes on radio. So there are some companies now that are trying to understand if someone's playing a Justin Timberlake or other famous artists. So can they actually track it and tell them so that Sony or BMG or whoever the integrator is could actually understand where the song is being consumed to see if they can bring in that sort of a structure. So it's a purely business thing of this era after it came in, and it applies more to the movies. For instance, the movie that I made was a vigilante hacker. It was made in Telugu language, and after a year I was told somebody made a movie where the guy wears a mask, the guy is a vigilante, but there are a couple of item songs in it, and I don't know what else, but it's been ripped off, basically. I had no idea. They made a lot more money than I did because I didn't have the network effect. So back then, I think I was still in the process of getting a copyright for my character from the Indian government, so I couldn't do much. But if that was the United States, I would have been a rich man. I would have flown here. Okay. So that's the idea. Basically, telling you that the rights management part is to protect the person who creates it more than saying, hey, you know what, you can't listen to my song or you can't mix it up.
We have a new trend of the dub smashes and the musicalies coming up. So is that also kind of piracy of the songs? Like we have got scenes or dialogues from movies or songs which are being enacted by the others, and there are people who have become famous in that also. So is that also kind of piracy of the content?
Yeah, before I answer that, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Yoga is from India, right?
Yes.
If yoga was a business, how profitable would it be? Everybody that I know in Europe and North America is in yoga. They're doing yoga for some reason, right?
It has been commercialized.
Yeah, exactly. So who's making the money for yoga? Whoever is actually commercializing it. But what the West did was they have a great idea of how to sort of centralize everything, put it at one place. Like McDonald's, I think, I'd like to believe is an American product. They've taken it. Look at what they did. They made it a franchise model. Netflix now. So they have these ideas and they really protect them well. Whereas us, we don't know. So to answer the question, dub smash and all of that, that's totally fine. Dub smash is like you're basically generating user content, right? A user content could be an opinion. Like something happened. Let's just say, what was the biggest event that happened? Yeah, Modi has been to Jerusalem, Israel, right? So he's been there, the first historic visit of an Indian Prime Minister in the last 70 years. So you have an opinion on it. You think maybe he shouldn't have gone to Israel. Or you think his suit's colors were too bright. You have your opinion, right? You should go out there and talk about it, that's fine. But you should also be aware that there will be repercussions to it. Like there will be people. So piracy is when something has a business protection and is licensed to appear in certain platforms, but you choose to take it away from those platforms and still monetize it for your benefits. Yeah.
Can I say?
Oh yeah, please.
Because my question is a little big. I come up with this idea because what we find most difficult is to get started.
Yeah.
In the online digital world. Like nowadays, if you are really not good, or better say, if you are really not exceptional, people won't hire you to write content for their website because they have to put something. So I come up with this idea. I created a website called Climb More. I just removed the M, so it became Climbore. CLIMBORE. Remove the M. So I started with a platform like this, which allowed people to share their perception, which they really want to share, apart from going out of their way into the SEO stuffs. Like there are things, you have to be SEO friendly, the words you have to do research, so their creativity levels gets down. So I come up with this platform which is similar to the platform which is funded by Alibaba called V Media. But what I found the most challenging part is with a platform like WordPress, I can't like put up what we say things like giving credibility. Like there has to be some kind of authority who could look after the people who are posting their perception or their views. So like it's just like the Twitter handle has a tick mark over it, so people will be more interested to follow the people who are really experienced into it. So I started it. I did ask my parents to fund it. They funded it, and eventually it failed. But I just wanted to know how to get this platform thing or shift it, or what's your suggestion would be to?
I think if I understood the question correctly, you didn't want the content to suffer because it has to go with some SEO norms, and you wanted a lot of people to get that chance to post
Yeah,
without
because
being.
in Google, if you have to rank for something, you have to really do a lot of stuff, which is like, that's why people don't get into these kind of stuff. And gone back the days when you just put up a page which is very bad looking and then gradually you improve it like Facebook. You have to now really come up with a exceptionally great platform, and it is very hard for a student or something, anyone who has creative idea, to get funded for it.
So the idea is to build a platform and get people to use it, but how do I do that without doing the entire traditional route of Google?
No, not the any funding thing and things like that. Yeah, it can be a call a startup kind of.
Yeah, I'm trying to place the question correctly because if your idea is to make a platform where people can come and share their content, right? And the barriers are pretty high right now because you have Facebooks and Googles and everybody, they're established and they're controlling it. So they're pretty much massive. But when they began, they pretty much had the same access as you did. So the idea is you either get the audience on your site, and I don't know what really constitutes as a great design because I've seen some really bad designs that are making a lot of money because they're just giving content, just gossip. Someone's just writing gossip, and if you see the alignment of the web page and everything, it's pretty bad, but they're still making money. So I don't think the aspect of money and the design should stop you. You should just go out there and put whatever it is that you want to. I think you already did that, but the concern is Google's and Facebook's are pretty much the monopolies. As much as they claim like they're doing a lot of good things, and I think they are, but they are very monopolistic in nature, so it's very much skewed in their direction. So you need a better Google ranking for people to know about your platform, which means you need to spend that kind of money to be there. But how do I make that money? You need more people on your website to make that money. Why are they going to come onto my website? Because someone else told them that your website is good. So who's going to tell them that your website is good? You're going to tell them your website is good. So it's like that chain that's going to.
It's like we have to put more content first from like a group of people, then people will come to the website, then we'll get revenue from like AdWords or something kind of that.
Yeah.
And then we can ask them to be a part of it.
Yes, and I think in the business perspective, I have a much more structured answer. That's the way to do it. So you need to buy a free template. Free. Absolutely free. Get 10 of your friends to talk about it. Let them talk to another 10. Let the network effect take place. It's organic. And I wouldn't say, oh, unless you did something crazy and it just went viral, it will start building traction over a period of time. Like I think my content on YouTube has about 1 million views right now, spread all across. Like I gave it away to different platforms and everybody would put it up. But now I'm trying to consolidate everything, bring it onto one platform because a lot of people made money on my content. I wasn't compensated for it. So the idea is to build that organic traction and then you launch yourself. The problem with the business owners today, they read about Zuckerberg, oh yeah, he was in the dorm at Harvard, he made this great platform, I want to make it, I want a billion people to look into it. No, I was one of the earliest adopters of Facebook. They came to my university in North America, giving us access for free through our university login IDs. So I log in even today with my university ID on Facebook. It was a very silly, blue-looking platform back then. But they're like, oh, please use it, it's pretty cool. So they only did that with North American students. But slowly it had its network effects and it grew. And it took it a while. So the other concern is, how quickly can I get my thing up, right? I mean, someone might look at, sorry about the example again, Vinchak Puja is extremely popular, right? So people might think if I make a very bad video of myself, people will come watch it. We don't know, and that's not the route to go. I think I read a question somewhere that she might be making about 10 to 12 lakhs or something doing that. So I think the cost of making that video was maybe $4,000 or $5,000 where there was nothing involved, but they ended up making money. So that's a great business model. So in terms of business, do not pump in anything on the web world until you actually